Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to delve into some recent news that has been making waves in the aviation industry. We're talking about Flair Airlines and their current financial turbulence. The Canadian low-cost carrier reportedly owes $67 million in unpaid taxes. Let's unpack this situation and discuss its potential impact on the aviation industry. Flair Airlines is a Canadian ultra-low-cost carrier, ULCC, that was founded in 2005 under the name Flair Air. The airline began its operations as a privately owned company and initially provided scheduled all-cargo services between Cuba and Canada on behalf of Canada Aviation. It also operated some passenger flights on behalf of Cabana. In 2008, Flair began adding Boeing 737-400s to its fleet to replace the 727-200s. The airline continued to add these aircraft until delivery of a fifth aircraft in 2015. In January 2014, Flair acquired a VIP Embraer ERJ-175 and a VIP Dornier Do 328, both of which were retired in September 2016. In June 2017, Flair announced it had purchased the assets of Manitoba-based discount travel company, New Leaf. Flair had been the operator of New Leaf's flights as New Leaf was not licensed as an airline. Flair retained 85% of former New Leaf staff in the acquisition, and the New Leaf brand was retired on July 25, 2017, with flights subsequently operated under the Flair name thereafter. In late 2017, Flair Air rebranded as Flair Airlines. It unveiled a new magenta and blue livery, acquired additional aircraft, and announced plans to add more in 2018 and 2019. Two more 737-400s arrived at the airline in December 2017. In 2018, Flair moved its headquarters from Kelowna International Airport to Edmonton International Airport, and 777 partners invested in Flair with the goal of building a Canadian low-fare carrier. In December 2018, Flair received 3 leased Boeing 737-800s. Today, Flair Airlines operates scheduled passenger and chartered services with a fleet of Boeing 737 aircraft. The company promotes itself as being Canada's first and only independent ULCC. Flair Airlines is trailblazing with an ambitious, rapid expansion to disrupt the monopolistic practices of Canadian airlines. The airline is committed to making air travel more accessible, more affordable, and more exciting for everyone. Flair Airlines, the Canadian ultra-low-cost carrier, reportedly owes a substantial amount of $67.2 million in unpaid taxes. This debt has prompted the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, to obtain an order for the seizure and sale of the carrier's property. The unpaid taxes are related to import duties on the 20 Boeing 737 MAX jetliners that make up the budget airlines fleet. These jetliners were needed to meet the travel demand in a post-COVID world, according to Flair Airlines CEO, Stephen Jones. Despite the federal court order obtained by the tax agency in November, Jones stated that this has no impact on the carrier's operations. The company has expanded over the past year and ramped up competition with rival airlines. Jones also mentioned that the company has agreed to settle the debt. They have a mutually agreed-upon payment plan with CRA to pay these importation duties, and they are currently with that plan. However, the terms of the deal are confidential. The CRA, on the other hand, stated that it looks to make arrangements with a company based on their ability to pay before it garnishes revenues or takes further steps to recover the money. As a last resort, they may take additional legal collection actions, such as seizing property or assets to protect the interests of the Crown. This situation marks the latest chapter in a multi-year struggle to stay solvent and within regulatory lines for Flair Airlines. Last March, Flair saw 4 of its planes repossessed in the middle of the night after aircraft leasing manager Airborne Capital claimed that the company regularly missed rent payments that amounted to millions of dollars over the preceding 5 months. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, subscribe. In response to this, Flair launched a $50 million court action against Airborne Capital and 3 other leasing firms, arguing that ongoing demands for payment from the 4 companies were baseless. This debt situation is a significant development for Flair Airlines and could have serious implications for its future operations in the broader aviation industry. This debt could have serious implications for Flair Airlines. It could lead to operational challenges. The immediate impact of such a significant debt could be operational challenges. With a substantial amount of money owed, Flair Airlines might face difficulties in managing its day-to-day operations. This could range from maintaining their fleet of aircraft to paying salaries of their employees. Cash flow problems. A significant debt like this could lead to serious cash flow problems. The airline might struggle to meet its financial obligations, which could affect its ability to invest in new aircraft, routes, or services. This could limit the airline's growth and expansion plans. Reputation damage. The news about the unpaid taxes could damage Flair Airlines' reputation among its customers and investors. This could lead to a decrease in passenger numbers and a potential drop in investment, further exacerbating the airline's financial problems. Regulatory issues. Owing a substantial amount in unpaid taxes could also lead to regulatory issues. The airline might face penalties or sanctions from regulatory bodies, which could further strain its financial resources. Risk of bankruptcy. In the worst-case scenario, if Flair Airlines is unable to manage its debt, it could risk bankruptcy. This would not only result in job losses but also reduce competition in the Canadian aviation market, potentially leading to higher airfares for consumers. It's important to note that these are potential impacts and the actual consequences would depend on various factors including how Flair Airlines manages this situation, the actions taken by regulatory bodies, and the overall economic conditions. The ripple effects of Flair's financial troubles could be felt throughout the aviation industry and could lead to increased pressure on other airlines. If Flair Airlines were to cease operations due to its financial difficulties, other airlines might face increased pressure to fill the gap left by Flair. This could lead to operational and financial strain on these airlines as they scramble to accommodate the increased demand. Potential rise in airfares. Flair Airlines is known for its affordable fares. If it were to exit the market, there could be a potential rise in airfares as the competition decreases. This could make air travel less accessible for some consumers, particularly those who rely on low-cost carriers. Investor confidence. The financial troubles of Flair Airlines could impact investor confidence in the aviation industry, particularly in low-cost carriers. Investors might be wary of investing in similar airlines for fear of a similar fate, which could lead to a decrease in investment in the sector. Regulatory scrutiny. Flair Airlines' situation could lead to increased regulatory scrutiny on the aviation industry. Regulators might tighten their oversight and impose stricter financial health checks on airlines to prevent a similar situation in the future. Job losses. If Flair Airlines were to cease operations, it could lead to significant job losses, both directly and indirectly. This includes not only Flair Airlines employees but also those in related industries such as airport services, catering, and maintenance. Impact on suppliers. Flair Airlines' financial troubles could also impact its suppliers. For instance, if Flair Airlines is unable to pay its dues, it could lead to financial difficulties for its suppliers. This could have a ripple effect on the broader aviation supply chain. It's important to note that these are potential impacts, and the actual consequences would depend on various factors, including how Flair Airlines manages this situation, the actions taken by regulatory bodies, and the overall economic conditions. It's a complex situation that we'll continue to monitor closely. In conclusion, Flair Airlines' financial turbulence is a concerning development, not just for the airline itself, but for the broader aviation industry. It underscores the financial challenges that airlines face, particularly in the low-cost market. We'll be keeping a close eye on this situation and will bring you updates as they come in. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more financial news and analysis. Until next time, safe travels.